I want to start with today's market moves. So we're joined now by Prosper Trading Academy CEO Scott Bauer. So Scott, I want to start with those private payrolls that we saw. I'm wondering what your thoughts were on this report and if you saw anything in the report that perhaps gave you a pause or a hint of concern.
So let's be honest, the number was a good one. Okay, it was much better than expected. However, the bulk of the payrolls that were added back, about 550,000 or so, were all in the service sector. So that, those jobs came back from restaurants and other service providing companies that were shut down earlier in the year. So are those full-time or are those, part-time jobs? And so there is cause for concern for me for two reasons. Number one, ADP numbers during the entire pandemic, quite frankly, for the last, several months, have been so far off from what the actual, jobs report that we've gotten from the government on the first Friday of every month. So is it an indicator? Maybe, maybe not. Number two is we're now, starting to see some closures again. We're starting to see things shut down again. So that does not portend well. So I am very, very cautious with these numbers. Maybe optimistically cautious, but I'm very cautious. And, let's wait until Friday. I'm not so sure this is really a good indicator of what we're going to see.
So then to that point on Friday, are you at all upbeat, thinking that we're going to be getting some positive news on Friday? Or to your point, since the ADP is not a great indicator of the job
I just lost your audio.
Can you hear me now, Scott? Not sure if Scott can hear us right now, but Scott, I'm wondering if what your expectations are on Friday with the jobs report. A beat on those numbers, 749,000 versus 649,000 expected. I'm wondering what you are expecting on Friday, if you are upbeat and optimistic for some of the figures we might be getting.
So the consensus is about an 850,000 plus gain. Great numbers, right? Great numbers. Certainly not anywhere near where we were a couple months ago when we got that 4 million gain. But even if we get that, and again, I don't mean to dampen the spirits here. That's a great thing. Even if we get that, that's still going to leave us almost 11 million jobs less than where we were pre-COVID. So we're on the right track. However, that job growth is slowing down. It's slowing down considerably. And again, my caution is what's coming in the next few months. Are the lockdowns that we're starting to see going to roll out more? Are we going to get this second wave that many of the scientists and many of the frontline people have been suggesting for a very long time that we're going to get? So it's going to be a very closely watched number. It is the last monthly payroll number that we're going to get before the election. I hope it's 5 million. I mean, we all do. We all hope that the economy is getting back to where it needs to be. I would absolutely err on the side of caution, though.
So let's talk about what we're going to be getting over the next couple of months. While there is optimism over a stimulus deal, we do not yet have one. So folks are not getting the stimulus checks. They're not getting that unemployment enhancement. We do have the holiday season coming up. Winter is coming, to quote Game of Thrones, and businesses are talking about the struggles that they might be facing in the coming months. So how do you think the economic recovery is going to be going through to the end of the year? And how do you think investors are going to be reacting, especially considering we have the elections coming up in just over a month?
I think it's going to be very tough. Obviously the economy has done an incredible job coming back from the dire circumstances that we were in. I think it's going to be very tough over the next few months going into the end of the year, maybe even to the first quarter. Look at, all of the seasonal hiring that we normally have, which starts just about now going into the holiday season, that we're not going to have this year, right? Because stores are not open the extended hours. They're not going to get the foot traffic that we normally do. So that's one big concern. On the other side of things economically here, without a stimulus package here, how many millions and millions of people now are not going to have that support? It doesn't take more than just to look at what Disney just announced, or the airlines, or United Airlines just announced that without stimulus and without help, without support, There's going to be more and more people that are laid off, that are going to be furloughed. So I think that we're in for some real challenges over the next quarter or so, which obviously can change very, very quickly if we do get an effective vaccination. But I don't think that's happening, unfortunately, until at least the first quarter of next year. So I think the rest of this year is going to be very challenging. However, if there is positive news coming out about a vaccination, even if we don't get it until the first quarter of next year, if we do get some of these trials that have, passed through phase 3 and that we can be optimistic, then yeah, that can be a humongous shot in the arm for the economy. However, in the near term, and I'm talking near term weeks, before the election, we do need another stimulus package.
All right, well, we'll leave that there. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. We'll have to bring you back on, and hopefully there will be no technical difficulties next time. Thanks for joining us.